Hey everyone, and welcome back to Outta Here Baseball. In this video, we'll be doing power rankings for the month of May. Before we get started, shout out to subscriber David Nguyen for suggesting this series, and remember, if you have a video idea, to leave it in the comments. Let's get right into the rankings now, with award frontrunners to follow. Moving down a spot to 30th is the Baltimore Orioles. Congratulations, Orioles, your pitching is atrocious. They moved down a spot because in the high-powered AL East, terrible pitching with a mediocre offense will lead to bad results. Switching places with the Orioles is the Miami Marlins. They move up because their pitching staff has been surprisingly good, and while the offense is the worst in the majors, they can at least keep games close and play spoiler instead of being a punching bag. And 28th is the Kansas City Royals. Results haven't gone their way, but I think this team is better than their record shows. The offense isn't bad, and they have a few good trade pieces at the deadline to get help on the mound, which is where they've struggled. In 27th is the San Francisco Giants. The Giants' aging core is still struggling, and with so many of those old players having large contracts, it'll be tough to find ways to trade them and get decent prospects. In 26th, we have the Detroit Tigers. Like the Marlins, the pitching here is what will keep them in games, with Spencer Turnbull and Matt Boyd in the Rookie of the Year and Cy Young conversations respectively. Just hope upcoming free agent Nicholas Castellanos heats up at the plate before the trade deadline. Moving down 9 spots is the Toronto Blue Jays. The prospects are beginning to get called up, signaling a new era in Toronto. They've fallen well out of wildcard contention, so the focus should be on letting the young guys play as much as possible. Falling 17 spots to 24th are the Seattle Mariners. Maybe this was to be expected for a team full of power bats and bad pitching. This team started off the season 13-2 and has gone 12-33 since then, leading to trade talks occurring for some of their offensive players already. In 23rd is the Washington Nationals. Another team that has fallen hard is the Nationals, who I would describe as top-heavy. They have 3 ace pitchers, 2 all-star hitters, 1 surprising veteran, and 0 help from everyone else. 0 is a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. 22nd is the LA Angels. The Angels have tried several different pitchers so far, and a few have found success. If they can staple together a decent rotation, the offense can carry them through with surprise players like Tommy La Stella stepping up behind Mike Trout. In 21st is the Chicago White Sox. I said last month one of their young starters needed to step up, and Lucas Giolito has done just that, putting himself in the Cy Young Award discussion. This is a team trending in the right direction, but are still young, so don't be surprised if they fall out of playoff contention in the next few months. In 20th, the Pittsburgh Pirates. This team has the 5th worst run differential in the majors, yet has a .500 record. There are some young bright spots aside from MVP candidate Josh Bell, just don't go half in, half out at the trade deadline like you have been the past few seasons. In 19th, it's the Cincinnati Reds. Quite different from the Pirates, this team has the 7th best run differential, yet has a losing record. The pitching has held up, and offensive players like Derek Dietrich are playing phenomenally. Expect the Reds to trend upward. In 18th is the Cleveland Indians. There have been injuries to key players, which pointed out the flaw everyone was talking about leading up to the season. This team lacks depth, especially on offense. I won't write them off yet, but this could be the beginning of the end for the reigning division champs. 17th place is the New York Mets. The Mets have had good years from their young offensive players, and if guys like Noah Syndergaard and Zach Wheeler can pitch at the level they're capable of, the Mets could push for a division title. In 16th is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona has been streaky and lost 10 of 13 games to close out the month. They have several offensive players playing at a high level right now, and I expect this team to rebound next month. In 15th, it's the Colorado Rockies. The offense has kicked it up a notch, with just about everyone in the lineup racking up extra base hits consistently. But as is the case every year for this team, the great offense is combined with a below-average pitching staff. In 14th, we have the St. Louis Cardinals. One of the biggest fallers this month, the Cardinals couldn't catch a break. They'll need offensive cornerstones Paul Goldschmidt and Matt Carpenter to up their game if they want to fight for the playoffs. 13th place is the San Diego Padres. The young starting rotation has pitched above expectations, but for this team to be a true contender, then stars like Manny Machado and Will Myers will need to hit at a higher level. Still, this team has been better than expected. In 12th, it's the Atlanta Braves. Rookies Mike Soroka and Austin Riley have been phenomenal in small sample sizes. They still need to iron out the starting rotation, but this team still has time to figure itself out. In 11th is the Texas Rangers. Joey Gallo is an MVP frontrunner, and Mike Minor is in the Cy Young race, which are both unexpected developments this season. They still have a lot of question marks on the mound, but are in contention in a tight wildcard race. 10th place is the Oakland Athletics. One of the hottest teams right now, the Athletics aren't necessarily going to blow you away, but they have a team full of under-the-radar performers, led by Matt Chapman, one of baseball's most underrated stars. In 9th, rising 14 places, are the Boston Red Sox. This team is still working towards getting back to the top of the league, but have made up lots of ground after a poor start. On a team full of stars, youngster Rafael Devers has the highest OPS. In 8th, it's the Milwaukee Brewers. Christian Yelich is still tearing it up, and they have a lot of strong offensive players, such as the recently called up Keston Hiura. I'm still not sold on Zach Davies, but his ERA is the third best in the majors after 2 months. In 7th, we have the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies haven't gone on a massive winning or losing streak and find themselves with the second best record in the National League. If Bryce Harper ever turns it up, this team could be really dangerous. 6th place is the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have been pretty good all around, and they have 4 legitimate MVP candidates in Wilson Contreras, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Javi Baez. They have a track record of success and should be the favorite in their division moving forward. In 5th is the Tampa Bay Rays. Their pitching staff is the best in the majors, and they only moved down here because the teams ahead are just playing that well. The Rays have at least proven they belong among the elite teams. In 4th, we have the New York Yankees. The rotation is among the best in the majors, and despite so many injuries to the offense, everyone that's been in the lineup has been terrific. It'll be interesting to see who stays in the lineup when everyone is healthy. 3rd place is the Houston Astros. They have the second best run differential in the majors and have been great offensively and on the mound. It's difficult to play to such high expectations, but the Astros have done just that. In 2nd is the Minnesota Twins. The Twins have scored the most runs in the majors and have done it thanks to a home run total that also leads the majors. The pitching has been great too, with Jake Odorizzi a surprise Cy Young candidate. Now for number 1, it's still the LA Dodgers. They have the best hitter in the league right now in Cody Bellinger and the best pitcher at the moment in Hyun-Jin Ryu. Add to that the deepest roster in the majors, and the Dodgers remain the team to beat. Now on to the award frontrunners, beginning with the NL Rookie of the Year candidates. Pete Alonso is still in first as he's led the Mets offense to this point, but Mike Soroka could overtake him if he keeps it up on the mound. Chris Paddock and Alex Verdugo are also in the race. Nothing has changed in the American League, with Brandon Lau, Spencer Turnbull, and Michael Chavis the top 3. For the Cy Young Award in the NL, Hyun-Jin Ryu has been pitching the lights out for the Dodgers, overtaking Luis Castillo and Zach Greinke as the favorite. Soroka, Caleb Smith, and Zach Davies are among the other contenders. The AL has a clear favorite in Justin Verlander, who looks to cement himself as one of the best pitchers of his generation. Jake Odorizzi of the Twins is in 2nd, and I'll put Charlie Morton 3rd above Matthew Boyd, Mike Minor, Lucas Giolito, and Domingo Germán. Now for NL MVP, and it's still Cody Bellinger in 1st, followed closely by Christian Yelich. Josh Bell is 3rd, having carried the Pirates' offense to this point, while Nolan Arenado, Pete Alonso, and Javi Baez are in the running. The AL favorite is still Mike Trout, but Jorge Polanco of the Twins is right there, with Joey Gallo 3rd, followed by Astros stars George Springer and Alex Bregman. So that concludes our power rankings for the month of May. Do you agree with the rankings? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay notified on all the latest Outta Here Baseball content. Thanks for watching.